Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Park, family, friends, guests, neighbors. Welcome to Kabbalat Shabbat. We begin on page 1. How good it is that brothers and sisters dwell together on this Shabbat. Ine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Ine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Ine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Ine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose and meaning. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this Shabbat day fulfills its promise to us. Nikad ma'avanav b'toda, b'zmirot nari alo, b'zmirot nari alo, lechun ranana, lechun ranana, lechun ranana, lechun ranana, lechun ranana, l'Adonai, lechun ranana. Come, let us sing joyfully to God a new song. Shiru l'Adonai, ko haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai, ko haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. I will sing a new song unto God. Page 4. Yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umelo o. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth be glad and the seas roar and all therein thunder. Adonai malach tagel haaretz yismechu iyim rabim anan v'arafel savivav sedek umishpat machon kiso. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright in heart. Exult in Adonai, righteous, and give thanks to God's holy name. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu l'har kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu l'har kodsho. Ki Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. On page 6, we welcome in the Sabbath bride. Ya la 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 chadodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabala lechadodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabala la 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 shamor v'zachor b'dibur chad Yishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemul tiferet v'liti la 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 chadodi librat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabala l'chadodi librat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabala la 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 librat Shabbat l'chu v'necha Ki makor habaraka Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'asaba makshavatayi la 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 chadodi ligrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabala l'chadodi ligrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabala la 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 We rise as we are able to greet the Sabbath bride Bo'i v'shalom Ateret fala Dam b'simcha v'tochala Toch emunei am segula Bo'i chala la 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 chadodi Likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabala L'chadodi Likrat kala P'nei Shabbat P'nei Shabbat nekabala la 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 Please be seated. So every day of the week, the Levites had a psalm for that day. The psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Tov Lehodot L'Adonai U'Lizamel Shimcha Elyon L'Hagid Baboker Chasdecha Ve'emunatecha Balelot La 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la. It's good to thank Adonai and sing praises to your name, to proclaim your love every morning and your faithfulness every night. The sound of the 10-string lyre and with music and lute and harp, your works, Adonai, bring me gladness, and of your deeds I joyously sing. Sadikata Amayifrach Ge'eres Balfanon Yiske Shetulim B'ved Adonai B'chatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenufun B'seva D'shenim Rananim Yiyu L'hagid Ki Ashadonai Tzuri V'lo Avlatabo. Page 13. The formal call to worship. Teach me, God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, unripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew my days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamavorach, Baruch Adonai Hamavorach, Le'olam va'ed. Uma'avir yom u'mevi laila, umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzva'ot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. And on page 15 and succeeding pages, we first receive God's great love, the love of the world, Ahavat Olam. We recite the Shema, and then we offer that love back with the V'ahavta. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amacha Ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ahakein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shofeinu u'vkumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki hem ayenu v'orach yameinu u'vahem negel Yomam v'layla, Yahavatchel tasir mimenu l'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, V'chol levavcha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol modecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavcha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha, u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, Uvish Arecha, middle of page 19. You shall make for yourself tzitzit on the corner of your garments throughout the ages. The tzitzit are a reminder to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem, Amat. And as God led us out of Egypt, we crossed the Sea of Reeds. When we arrived on the other side, Miriam led the women in song, and the men joined in. Who among the mighty compares to you, Eternal One, whose holiness is as glorious as yours, praised as awesome and doing wonders? Michamocha, Beli Madonai, Mikamocha, Nedarba Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Seifele, Nora Tehilot, O Seifele, Mahutechara Uvanecha, Bokeh Ayam Lifnei Moshe, Ve'eli Anu Ve'amru, Adonayim Loch Lelam Va'ed, Michamocha, Beli Madonai, Mikamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Seifele, Nora Tehilot, O Seifele, V'ne'emar Kifada Adonai, Et Yaakov, Ugo'alo miyad hazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael, Michamocha, Beli Madonai, Mikamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Seifele, Nora Tehilot, O Seifele. Hashkivenu, bottom of page 22. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Ushmor tzeitenu uvo'enu l'chaim u'l'shalom me'atava ad olam. Ufros aleinu sukat shalom mecha baruch atah Adonai. Hafores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. As we give thanks and gratitude for having the Sabbath day to help sustain us. Page 24. V'shamaru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tambarit olam b'nei uvein b'nei Yisrael Ohot ki la'olam v'shamaru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tambarit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamaru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tambarit olam uvayom hashvi shavat v'yinafash Shavat v'yinafash v'shamaru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tambarit olam. Our God and God of our ancestors, page 25, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth, in your gracious love, Adonai our God. Grant us your holy Shabbat as a heritage. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. We rise as we are able for the Hatzi Kaddish to be followed by the Amidah. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Ba'alma divrach hirute, v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye dochol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, v'maru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach, l'olam olol me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudeshabrichu, le'ela min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'maru, amen. Adonai sfatai tivtachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Open our lips, Adonai, that our mouths may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, Umevi Goel Livnei V'Nehem, L'ma'an Shemo, Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ufokei Tzara, Ataki Bor Le'olam Adonai, Milchaye Metim Atarav Lehoshia, Milchalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Milchaye Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Sohomech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata lehachayot mitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. You are faithful, giving life to all that live. Praised are you, Adonai, who gives life to all that lives. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Vayechulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz v'chol tzva'am, v'yechol Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa, v'yishbot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa, v'yivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i, v'yikadesh oto, ki vo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Page 33 in the middle. Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu, ritzei b'mnuchateinu, kachenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha, sabeinu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha v'tahel libeinu la'avdecha ve'emet v'hanhilenu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava u'ratzon Shabbat kodshecha v'yanuchu v'Yisrael Mekadeshei Shemecha Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Top of page 35. When we are overwhelmed by life's circumstances, shield us from defeat with your words of promise. And when we are troubled by turbulence in our lives, shield us from chaos and confusion with your reassuring words of Sabbath peace. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Grant loving peace to your people Israel and to all who dwell on earth. For you are the sovereign Lord of peace. May it please you to bless your people Israel in every season and at every moment with peace. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev v'lo yimaldu od milchama. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Oseh shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. We take a moment to say prayers of healing and send good thoughts out to everyone who is in need at the moment. So say the names of those that your loved ones, your friends, your family, your neighbors who need healing. It can be physical, spiritual, emotional. And of course, we send out our love and support to all of the healers and all of those who are consumed by COVID at the moment. Ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say amen. Shabbat. Makor renewal of spirit, let us say, Amen. Send out those good thoughts of healing. So this week, in recognition that this weekend is Halloween weekend, I thought I'd share with you one of my favorite stories from my childhood. It's called The Witches of Ashkelon, and this version is in the classic Tales, 4,000 Years of Jewish Lore by Ellen Frankel. In Ashkelon lived two good friends, both pious students. One died and appeared to his friend in a dream, strolling among the orchards and springs of paradise. Then the dreamer saw Miriam, the daughter of Mr. Onion Leaves, with the hinge on the door of hell stuck in her ear. "Why is she being punished like that?" the dreamer asked his departed friend. "Because she fasted and bragged about it." "How long will she stay like this?" asked the dreamer. "Until Shimon ben Shattak dies. Then we shall lift the door out of her ear and stick it in his." "Shimon ben Shattak, the head of the Sanhedrin?" cried the dreamer. "But what has he ever done to deserve such punishment?" The spirit of his friend replied, "When he became the Nazi, he vowed to destroy all the witches in the land. But there are still 80 witches living in a cave right here in Ashkelon, causing ruin in the world. It is your job to tell him so." "I am afraid to go before such a great man and rebuke him," protested the dreamer. "He is the Nazi and will not believe a poor student like me." "Don't be so sure," the spirit assured his friend, "for he is a modest man. But if he doesn't believe you, show him the sign. Take out your eyeball and then put it back into the socket, and it will be as it was before." The next day, the student went before Shimon ben Shattak and told him about the witches. He was about to show him the sign, but the Nazi stopped him, saying, "I know you are a pious man and can perform wonders, but you must understand that I took that oath in my heart, not with my lips." Even so, the next day, Shimon ben Shattak took with him 80 young men and led them to a sheltered place near the witch's cave. Then he gave each a cloak and a new pot to keep out the rain that was falling. Shimon said to them, "When I whistle once, put on your cloaks and pots. When I whistle a second time, come, take hold of a witch and lift her up from the ground. For witches are powerless when their feet lose contact with the earth." Then Shimon ben Shattak stood at the mouth of the cave and shouted, "Ho! Open up for me! I am one of you." They opened the great wooden door sealing the entrance and asked him, "How did you get here without getting wet?" And he answered, "I walk between the raindrops. I am a warlock." "Why did you come here?" "To learn and to teach," he said. "Let each of us show our skill." Then one witch recited a spell and conjured up a loaf of bread. A second conjured up meat. A third cooked vegetables. A fourth, wine. Then they turned to him and said, "What can you do?" And he said, "I can whistle twice and bring you 80 young men to gladden your hearts." And they cried, "Yes, yes, we want that!" So he whistled once, and the 80 young men put on their cloaks and pots. And he whistled a second time, and they came into the cave. They lifted up the witches, took them from the cave, and hanged them all. And that was the end of witchcraft in Ashkelon. We return in our booklets to page 39. Please rise as you are able. For the Aleinu. The Aleinu says, it's upon us. It's upon us to bring mitzvot into the world. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, latet gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, v'lo zamanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamalachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed aretz, moshav yakaro b'shamayim mima'al, ushchinatu zo, v'gavhe meromim, hu Eloheinu, ein od, emet malkeinu, efesulato, kakatuv, v'torato, v'yadata hayom, v'hashevota elevavacha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim mimal, v'al ha'aretz, mitachat ein od. And then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both men and women will be gentle. And we read together, we continue on page 42. And then both men and women will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. Kakatu b'tortecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz, b'yom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. On that day, Adonai will be one, and God's name will be one. We take a moment to remember those who have gone before us, our loved ones. We think of our loved ones with whom death has recently taken from us, and those who have died in the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. And in Shalom Park, we are remembering in the coming week Irvine Abrams, Geraldine Emerson, Harley Roshu, Dorotha Kinsley, Betty Crystal, Fernette Pope, Dorothy Zipes, Julia Verteber, Viva Esseltine, Anna Roshnevsky, Betty Cantor, Golda Freeman, Hilton Johnson, Rose Buchhalter, Victor Ginsburg, Robert Parmet, Pinky Hubert, Frank Pitcher, Israel Shames, Joyce Wolfe, Brunya Zaitchik, Francis Schuker, Frank Tracy, Beatrice Green, Abraham Reich, Harry Cornfield, Carol Heinzman, Marceline Radetsky, Yulinia Feinigersh, Sarah Alterman, Ethel Sherman, and Sylvia Silbert. Kaddish is found on page 45. If you are in a period of mourning or observing a yard site, or if it is your custom to stand for those who have no one to say a Kaddish for them, we now rise as you are able. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah ba'alma di v'ra chirute v'yamlich malchute v'chaye chon uv'yome chon uv'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah Mevarach la'alam ul'almei almaya Yit Barach v'yishtabach v'yit Pa'ar v'yit Romam v'yit Naseh v'yit Hadar v'yit Aleh v'yit Halal Shmei Dekudesha Baruch Hu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata b'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehe Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, all who dwell on earth. V'imru Amen. May the one who grants peace in the heaven bring comfort to all who mourn. And together we say, Amen. Shalom Aleichem. We invite in the angels. Angels are another name for feelings. When we love and act with kindness, we create angels of love and kindness. It is our job to fill our world with angels and messengers of love and kindness who link people together as one family. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now we light candles, say Kiddush and Motzi. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'chata, v'tanu kidashta, mikohamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, b'ahava u'v'ratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen. I'm Rabbi Bertie Becker. If you are watching this other than at Shalom, I appreciate if you would leave me a message. Let me know you joined us. Click on the link if you liked it, and I will see you next week. Shabbat Shalom.